Okay, hello dear friends. Such a beautiful morning, and I finished my class, so I came out to get some fresh air and sunshine. I walked and I found some nice place, very quiet, and so just beautiful. I know a lot of you cannot get out of your house, so I think it's worthy for me to make a video of this and share with you. And I will take this opportunity to do some blah 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 and just chatting about all the questions you have asked, and I will try to see if I can answer them. Let me do it. Okay, I have copied some of the questions here. One friend asked if I get crippled, and I didn't know this word, so when we did the live, I didn't understand it, so I didn't reply quick enough, and then I checked online. So it's quite an unlucky thing. So I don't know what will happen if I got into that situation, and I am just grateful that I am still healthy, have the condition to go out. I really appreciate that I am so lucky and in such a good state in my body, and just to be grateful. There are things happen in our life, and I don't know what will happen. I don't know if I have the strength. I think a lot of time what we do in front of any difficulty and any situation is mostly our character. And I didn't have the chance that let heaven to test my character, to test my strength. So I do not know, and I do not want to imagine that to happen. And I remember I heard some story. There are times in time of dangerous situation. For example, there was one kid falling into water, and then another guy jump into the water and save, even with the greatest danger. And then a journalist came and asked, "What did you think when you jump into the water to save?" And the guy said, "I didn't think anything." And the truth is that in time of this kind of emergency and dangerous situation, you do not think. You do not think. There is no time for you to think. It's pure your character. It's pure your quality, your moral value that shines at that moment. And it's just that I have to jump into the water to save. And this is the thing to do at that moment. It is the thing to do for this guy. And he has good moral value, high moral value, and good quality. What else can we say? And if a person does not have this quality, whatever, he will not jump in and save. So in time of difficult situation, we cannot predict right now, because we are not in that difficult situation. And if that situation comes, you will be you, just like when you do anything else. There has been no chance for me to test my moral value in that situation. So I am unable to predict what I will do in that situation. And I feel for you, but this is as much as I can answer for this question. Another question is asking about which country I have visited. And this question comes from a friend from Brazil. And I have been to Brazil for 6 months. I have been to Sao Paulo, the state of Sao Paulo, and Rio de Janeiro, and Belo Horizonte, and Foz do Iguaçu, and some places. And another thing, I think, to answer the question of which country I have visited, I feel this is a little bit like bragging. I don't know. I personally feel it may not make people happy. And comparing with people who has visited hundreds of countries, and not hundreds of countries. There are 150, around 150 or 146 countries in the world, I think. And comparing with people who has visited many, many countries, I am nothing. And comparing with people who has not been visiting other countries, mostly domestic, I have been to some places, but the number of the country I will not say. It just does not bring any good energy into this dialogue. I'm sorry. Please understand me on this. And how many languages do you speak? If you think my English is okay, it's not that broken, I speak English. And my native language is Chinese. And I speak a little bit of French, not good enough for minimal French so that I can survive to order some food. I want this, I want that, je veux ça, je veux ci, je veux ça, like this. And of course, say it in a little bit more friendly way or more polite way. Je voudrais, and that's it. And the other thing, like greeting with different languages, is not really speaking a language. I think I speak Chinese and broken English, and a minimal of French. That's it. And do you have a plan for story videos? Yes, I do have plans for story videos. And especially, I listen to videos and I listen to stories, and I was fascinated by this psychologist, criminal psychology analyst and expert, which speaks my native language. She explained a lot of cases, and some cases just fascinating, and it's kind of warning for us how to live our life and how to educate our children. As a teacher, it really it put a different light on my teaching. And I think to understand a little bit of this criminal psychology, or just hear something about it, give me another way of seeing people's behavior. And people become criminal, and before they made that action, they were human. They were one of our family member, one of our colleague, one of our classmates, one of our friends. And this person used to be a normal person. Just one action destroyed that person's life. And this person could be you and I, could be any person. could be anybody. If we do not understand ourselves and control ourselves and make right decision, you and I, any of us, have the danger to make mistake that push ourselves to the other side of human being. So there are many of these stories, and especially touching is about the story of how to educate people, the role of love, compassion, understanding, and the role of a mother's love. It's very, very touching. So I will slowly tell you these stories during a tea time, a blah blah time, a magazine time, or any of those relaxing time. So I do plan to make those story videos, and some are real story I heard from others. Some are my real life story from my everyday teaching. Of course, I will not say student's name, and I will not say person's name. I will make into a story to explain or to demonstrate, to express my moral. Le moral de cette histoire, c'est the moral of my story. I just want to bring up my thoughts through storytelling. Okay, another question one friend asked, what language do you dream? And I actually do not remember, because I do not remember dreams. I had one friend said she dreams all the time. She had problem to fall asleep, had insomnia, and I do not have insomnia. And she said because she thinks a lot, so her brain is just functioning too much, and she always keeps thinking and thinking. And if you have this X-ray or some wavelengths, you see her. She said her brain wave should be up and down a lot, and that just made me so ashamed of myself. I must be a person who do not think, so I do not dream. And that explanation really put me very much down. I must be a dummy person who do not think. Anyway, I have to accept the fact that I am not a good thinking person, or I do not think a lot, so I do not dream. I fall asleep, and I go to bed, I fall asleep. If I am not tired, I will not go to bed. I just do not want to sleep. I don't like to sleep. And I feel sleeping is a waste of my life. And sleeping is dead. There is nothing happening when you sleep. I know you must be against me, and it's just a personal opinion. And I try as much as possible to keep myself awake, and so I do not remember any dream. But just ask after this dialogue I had after this live, and after seeing this question, I made one dream with some my Chinese side of friend or family. So that dream was in Chinese. Whether I have dreamed in English or French, I do not remember. I do not remember. I'm sorry. Okay, another question is about ASMR. So one friend asked, I know you that the friend said, I know you do not have this sensation of ASMR. How did you get to know this ASMR, and why do you tag your video in ASMR? Yes, so here is kind of a pretty clear my manifestation or my confession about this. I never had a good relation with the ASMR community, and a lot of people, I think a lot of friends, are pretty serious about it, and I think I do not. I think any sensation, especially this kind of very shadowy sensation and that tingling sensation, is a very personal thing and it's very private thing. I cannot see people whisper in my ear. It just makes me very, very uncomfortable. So I do not watch those kind of videos. And if I see a person whispering, it's just very, very uncomfortable for me. So I do not do. I do not watch. And how do I know this ASMR thing? How did I get know this? So many years ago, I think 7 or 8 years ago, anyway, many years ago, and I got one friend on Facebook chatting me and saying, Yang Haiying, did you know you are very famous? I said, what was that joke? How can I be famous? And he said that your video was on Reddit or on SourceTube, actually. At that time, there was a SourceTube, and people are listening to your video, and there were a lot of video there. So I checked on that SourceTube, and I found that there are a lot of my videos there. And there were some articles at the very beginning stage. There were articles talking about this ASMR sensation, and mentioned me. My name was on some articles, and also my name was asked on GQ. Is that a magazine? I think it's a GQ. And there was one editor asking me, and let me prove if I give them the permission that mention my name. Yes, that was 5 years ago, 4 years ago, something like it. And then I started to search. Yes, there were a lot of my videos there. So if you go to Reddit to search the name Yang Haiying, my name Yang Haiying, there were around 60 listings or 70 listings of my video. And if you search on Tumblr, there used to be more listings, something like 40, and then disappear a little bit, and then come back a little bit more. Anyway, and there are some places, not a lot, there are some places mentioning me. And in this SourceTube, actually there was a competition, and kind of competition. They vote the best relaxing video of the year, and I got elected. It was, isn't it a joke? I got the most relaxing video, and even the most famous, most beautiful ASMR lady, the queen of ASMR, did not get it. Well, that was not fair. She should be the most relaxing. And anyway, so I knew my name was mentioned there. And still recently, 4 days ago, 1 month ago, still there are people listing my video on Redditor or Reddit. and from time to time I can see people making comments. I saw her video years ago at the beginning of even there was a name ASMR coined, and finally I found her again, something like it. Anyway, I knew this, and but I do not have it. I just say it the way I say. When I hesitate, because I do not speak English, so I struggle with grammar. Why I struggle with grammar? Because I was born with a Chinese grammar, and the way we speak, the way we put words, and the way we choose words is different from English. So there is always that constant struggle that slows down my speed of talking, and so maybe that is relaxing. And what else I want to say? Why I use this word? So there were times I made some video asking friends, gosh, I made so much effort and I have 10,000 to 20,000 videos, but I have so few subscribers. How can I get more views and more subscribers? And there are friends mentioned, you have to, it's a good idea that if you put the keyword ASMR, well, put this word, doesn't hurt me. And if it gets more views and more subscribers, why not me do it? So that's the reason I put it. I do not understand it. But if it helps, it's no harm for me to do it. I don't know, after this video, maybe a lot of ASMR community people will unsubscribe from my video. Whichever choice you make, I appreciate. And I wish you a happy evening. I love you. I really do. Do. Bye-bye, friends.